By which I mean, there's nothing to kill.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Stricker back again once again. I did not upload really at all last night due to the fact that I was heavily busy working, modeling, doing college stuff. But here we are. I've taken the day off since I spent like the whole day on that. So I thought, screw it, I'll stream and maybe even finish Fontaine. So, yeah. I know I'm a little bit late, but, you know, whatever. I might as well finish playing through Fontaine, because then that's one of the things that I will need to finish done. And that means I can focus more on Destiny stuff, and also, whatchamacallit, wrapping up Deltarune. So, of course, if you like, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out whenever I go live. There was a thing here this whole time. Okay. That makes me wonder if the other missing ones are actually in Fontaine. Okay. Oh well, I need to go to the Hotel du Bird. Doodlebop. So let's get into it. Where we last left off, we had the trial. Basically, everything under wraps happened.
I came here several times with my father when I was little, but stopped eating here as often after growing up.
Oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel like this in a while.
Oh yeah, we're with her.
Paimon's getting excited already.
In that case, I'll go order for us first.
Okay. Order for us, Navia.
Ooh, everything looks so good.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And
hey.
Well, then I'll still bring everyone. Albeit with only one dish per table.
Yeah.
Sure have your own way of doing. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we could also treat it like a victory feast, right? We did just win that case after all.
'Twas a pleasure working with you.
True. Very true. In that case, boss, we'll have another 2 dishes.
Huh? Paimon didn't mean that you had to order even...
Ah, lovely.
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances will get caught soon now that this has all happened?
Well,
We already got
we've
one.
certainly taken a big step forward, but I feel that's about it. We know that there's an organization that means to dissolve these young women, but we still don't know what they are really after.
If it hadn't happened right in front of us, Paimon wouldn't have ever believed that a person could be dissolved like that.
Right? Yet it was because this was such a preposterous notion that the investigation could never really move forward.
Ugh. If only that guy could have finished speaking. We were so close to hearing who was behind.
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm if the trail of clues is cut off. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might... It's not that I don't have... It's easy to guard against and deceive a single narrow perspective. A shift in thinking is required at such times in order to produce a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why the Spina di Rosula... Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist. To seep into the cracks where filth falls through. Where their watch fails them. That's the kind of problems we solve.
Seems Paimon thought things were simpler than they actually are.
It's all right. Well, this was supposed to be a farewell meal, so I doubt you have further interest in this business, right? Let's talk about something
debatable.
else. Like, what are your future plans?
We kind of wanted to ask the Hydra-Archon for information, but we hadn't had much opportunity to do so, and now I don't want to talk to her at all.
The trial ended. It didn't really seem like the right time or place to do it anyway.
I see. So, your primary objective, which has been foiled so far, was to have a chat. I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina. I suspect you'll be waiting for quite a while, considering that you missed your chance today.
Yeah.
We've heard that she's super popular here in Fontaine, and that it'll be tough getting any of her time.
Well, would you consider some more, ways? Perhaps even
methods of questionable legality.
Questionable legality?
I'm open.
Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chock full of sketchy ideas. Well, what did you have in mind?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act at the play's climax and ask to speak to her after the performance. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree in order to finish watching the play. Don't you think?
Could you suggest something a little more practical? This plan seems pretty hard to pull off. We'd have to go learn how to act, and acting's really hard.
All right, here's another. Find a way to conceal yourself under her bed. Then wake her up in the dead of night and demand answers. Don't let her go back to sleep until she answers all your questions. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to
Yeah.
Yeah. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep.
How can you overlook something like that?
All right, no more joking.
Oh yes, hide under their bed and force them to answer us, otherwise they don't get to sleep.
Oh, I don't know. Cut the line when she's on a break. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusation?
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, that does make some sense.
Someone with her personality really feels shame.
After this meal, you know, strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah, fuck it.
Was this your drink? Sorry about that. Paimon wasn't really paying attention, and the cup was right next to Paimon.
I hate that she talks in third person.
No, it's fine. We're just about...
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend Fonta anyway. It tastes kind of salty and icky.
My drink also tasted that way too.
So? Huh. Well, in that case, we'll have to blacklist the Fonta here then. If we're all finished eating, then I'll go pay.
Yeah, we're stuffed. Thanks for the treat, Navia.
Hey. Got some nice food, and now we're gonna talk to the brat. Hydro Archon. She is... I remember really disliking her. Alright. Puddling can barely float anymore. You can try walking.
Nah, that would be so... normal. You know, like you.
I hate you so much.
Okay. As for expenses this month...
Hey, Navia, what are you doing over there?
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula can't cover.
That was a pretty pricey meal, all things to Paimon.
Let's get ready to try to meet the Hydro Archon again. Bye, Navia!
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're always welcome to contact this. In any case, I wish you...
See ya!
Yep, adios. Started as rain falls without reason. I need to go there anyway. So, yes, the Fountain of Lucine. I need to go to the fountain to talk to the fountain, not because it's for the quest. Let me dunk my freaking hydro sigils. Thank you. Actually, wait, no, I need to claim rewards. My next set would be that. Just keeps going up. I need 11 more hydro sigils, and then I can start getting things.
No time to lose.
Alright, let's see.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Araneus might have been the last.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again.
Yeah.
Huh? Traveler?
Yep.
Are you hearing
Yep.
That's kind of spooky. Are you sure we don't want to come back in the morning?
No.
Vache. Vache.
Hey.
Vache.
You're still walking towards it.
Things are getting a little blurry.
Hang on. Paimon can kind of hear a voice. It's calling for Vache, right? Hey, traveler, stop walking. Come on, wake up.
Oh, lovely. The ocean is. Hi?
Are you my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is?
I am afraid not.
Wait. Who am I? I'm very sorry. I fear I do not know. My memories feel like they have been washed away like a flood. So many fragments dissolved amidst the tide, never to be recovered. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land have I since forgotten?
You were once
Yes,
a human?
that is what I was once. But now, I am but the consciousness of one who is lost, therefore.
You lost your form.
I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water.
One of the girls who was dissolved.
I also remember going to many places. I loved adventure, loved exploring places of peril. No matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me. And I also loved him. But now, we can no longer go back. The pain of such parting. I never knew how heavy it could be.
So you need me to find him.
No. Our reunion no longer has any meaning. There is no way for us to create any new memory. The thought of me gives him no succor. So let it lie forgotten beneath the waters. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move on.
I believe that it would be hard for him to forget you.
Perhaps that is so. As I was submerged in the waters, losing consciousness, I saw Vache above the surface. His eyes were filled with such sorrow, such longing. If only I could have comforted him, told him that I did not suffer. Indeed, I had felt a great warmth.
Vache was a witness to the fact that you dissolved.
Is that what you call it? Dissolving? If anything, I consider it a form of release. It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only an endless peace, like the water's still surface. I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time, and only then sees how they have lived for so long in a world of endless want and anxiety.
Seems that after their bodies dissolved, some measure of consciousness still remains.
I think I hear your companion. It's time for you to go, I think.
Alright, I wonder how much time has passed in reality.
Then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Damn. What the hell is happening? What the hell? What the hell is happening? With what? What is that? What the hell? What the? Okay. Okay, so she's a sword user. Or a claymore. What is happening?
Someone's out! Look out!
think that's White Blind. Yeah, that's White Blind, so she's a
God.
Claymore.
It's a whole army of Gardamex.
Why are we... I'm so confused. The duelist? Oh. Oh, she's a sword user. Oh, she looks fun.
Quick, now's our chance!
Okay, I like this. Oh my god. And the soundtrack. Okay. I want her. I don't know what was happening, but that was a good fight scene. I liked that. I like her. I want her. That actually made me genuinely be interested in
Thank you
Colleen.
for lending us your sword there, Clarand. But before I do so, could you explain how you managed to show up here?
I followed you. It seemed to me that danger has followed you more closely as of late.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking.
You were the one
is
that...
it not?
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same, were he alive to...
Do not speak of my father.
Sorry, demoiselle. I was not strong enough.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Corand, but do keep an eye out for your manner of speech. I believe we all wish to avoid unnecessary emotional harm.
Sorry, I did not consider your feelings.
I love how she looks.
What else do you know? How did you come to the conclusion that I'd be in grave danger?
I doubt I know much more than you, but I believe that the mastermind behind the serial disappearances is very powerful. Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought only those associated with the Maison Gardiennage could...
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago. They are not the ones used by the authorities to enforce the law. I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have obtained them via illegal means, deploying them as a private force of sorts.
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating no matter what. We will bring the truth to light. That's my father's true last wish. Regardless, thank you for your help today, Clarand. But if you get any ideas, tell me first.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we've gotten to...
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Corand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations a little.
I know, she's...
What happened?
Paimon thought we were done for. Those
I'm
Gardamex
so
came
confused.
out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us. Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Clarand who came out to save us too. We got lucky there. Paimon probably couldn't have fought them off otherwise.
So you're a fighter now.
Oh.
No comment on that.
Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that every meal we have together shall be a victory feast. As such, we're still partners. There's no need to thank me.
It will take 50 years for me to match Demoiselle's magnanimity.
If it were me, I would have joined the Spina di Rosula on account of her goodwill long ago.
All right, you two. That's enough.
Actually, Nadia, how did you know that we were in danger? You sure did show up in the nick of time.
Well, to be honest, you're the one who tipped us off, Paimon.
Really? Paimon contributed somehow?
How?
Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing.
Explain.
Yes. All thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake.
How did that happen?
After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases when I suddenly thought of what you said, that the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky.
I'd have tasted strange as well, but I can be
Fanta
sure.
only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it have tasted salty? The color of the drink, if I recall, had also been a bit off.
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of
Oh.
awards for you as we speak for saving the boys.
Oh, she was about to disappear. Huh. Although, since we're not from Fontaine, that
I
we...
sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. But whoever did this left no trace at all. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger, and hurried here as quickly as I could.
What? Why would they go after us, too? All we did was defend Linny in court and help clear his name. Oh, now we're caught up in...
Well, you did foil a plan that they were probably pretty proud of, and almost got their name in the process. Speaking of which, did anything strange happen when you drank?
Well,
We talked to
it can't
people.
be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too. But it was real
Maybe a
faint.
voice like this is due to one's sensibility to the hydro
Does that
element.
mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity to hydro when it's used on people who are not from Font...
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing, to be honest.
They also gained new intel.
New intel?
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it, shall
The voice
we?
in the fountain belongs to one of the missing women, and a person named Vache was the witness when she
Oh.
dissolved. Tell everybody what happened while you were connected to the ocean its
Vache.
consciousness.
That name doesn't ring a bell. I suppose he hasn't stepped forward as a witness in court lately. Since he saw that young woman dissolve, he was at least apt, but he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolving in the primordial seawater. Could he have been threatened?
If he's still alive, we should try
Yes,
searching for him.
Thank you. This is very important information indeed. We will continue to investigate.
Alright, partner.
Oh, you mean you'll help us investigate?
Well, you
Yes.
did say that our farewell meal didn't really count. That means we're still partners, right?
Plus, you know we got attacked.
Right.
So,
Now, whether we like it or not, you're not gonna let those people who targeted us get off the hook so easily, are you, Traveler?
this will prove to be their greatest mistake.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula.
You talk too much. Well, in that case...
You
I'd
are
like to
the head of our
this
company.
society.
Shut up.
I'll arrange accommodations for you. We also have some plans to go over.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Okay. Verdict of Blades. The hidden mirage in Fontaine opponents whose origins are shrouded in mystery are ready to fight. Ooh. I might have to... I might have to do that. Bum bum ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Bum ba da 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 da. Bum ba da 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 da.
Is jump underneath the crystal, grab the chalice, and then you'll begin gaining your stacks. This will actually speed up the encounter. This will speed up the encounter tremendously, saving a bunch of time and allowing you to get into the DPS phase much faster. So that way you can get onto the next spoiled farm checkpoint just by reloading this.
No time to lose.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure...
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted it.
Very good. But let's not let our guard down for now.
I shall find rooms for our respected guest.
Thank you, Malus. Now,
Okay. I kind of preferred the Linny stuff more. I definitely preferred the Lenny and Lynette stuff so far, but that was a cool fight scene. Am I supposed to go down here?
No time to lose.
Is this like a secret bunker that I'm not aware of? It looks like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't this lovely? Okay. Is this where I was missing my, stuff?
No time to lose.
Oh. Oh. Hello.
So, this is your
Yeah,
place?
I did not imagine it to be this.
Quite unimagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances, I can confidently say it's the best we have.
Thank you.
Well, our funds have been a little tight lately. After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come from citizenry who support us.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone. But if you have the support of the people, that does sound like it's worth it.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot better back when my father was in charge a few years ago. I'm afraid I'm not quite his equal.
Your father, he was the previous boss of Spina di Rosula, right? How did he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to explain.
No. I'll explain it myself.
Okay.
I suppose I couldn't... My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel to defend his honor instead of standing trial. He died in the duelist ring.
Oh, no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. I'm sure he was set up. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something amiss would crop up and prove his innocence. But strangely, he not only requested the duel himself, but rumor has it that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years later, I still don't understand why he did that. How could he protect his honor if he's dead? If anything, he gave up his chance to defend himself.
Does seem quite
The
odd.
closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances case at the time of his death.
Ah, so that's why you're so determined to get to the bottom of that case.
That's right. I've also tried to investigate the murder my father was implicated in. But I haven't found a single new clue in my countless reviews of the investigation records. However, I believe that if the murder case is related, I must know what really happened. Was my father coerced? Framed? Even if he really did kill his friend, I must get to the truth. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that my mother died due to complications when giving birth to me. And now, here I am investigating his death. You really are a handful, aren't you, Papa?
Seeking the truth for the sake of your family. You know, we're quite alike in this regard.
Please, if there is anything I can do.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. There are none whom I respect more than the two of you, Demoiselle. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet All it took was one murder case for him to be dubbed Callus the Unfaithful. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances at present.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man, wouldn't people at least be a little suspicious?
Yeah.
No. Perhaps people just revel
Oh
in
yeah,
that
it is
kind of drama.
Fontaine.
It's not something exclusive to people from Fontaine, really. Everyone's like that. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind.
There is
Yeah.
one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh,
Oh.
well then, isn't that as good as saying that
One of them
she
is
was
a
the
little
one
bit
who
strange.
killed him? Yeah, that's not the sort of thing that you can just let go.
Miss Clorand has always placed great emphasis on the honorable nature of the duel. If her opponent doesn't yield, she will not stop either. She knew Master Callus beforehand and greatly respected him, but seeing how he was resolute in the arena, there was only ever one choice she could have made.
It's not that I don't understand her at all, but I just can't deal with this yet.
Don't worry, Navia. Paimon knows how you feel. You don't have to force yourself to do that.
Afterward, Miss Clorand told us that at the start of the duel, Master Callus requested that she ensure Demoiselle Navia's safety.
That indicates that he intended to die in the duel no
Yes,
matter
that is our
what.
understanding as well.
Oh, Papa. What madness drove you to ask the person who killed you to take care of me? All right. Anyway, that's the information I wanted to share with you. Even if it did sound like I was just complaining towards the end.
Oh, it's alright. I understand how important this is to you.
Thanks.
Yep.
Please, relax and get some sleep.
Rest in room. No, I don't want to talk to you.
This won't do.
I wanted to rest. Peaceful night passes under Spina de Rosala's protection.
Paimon, huh? Navia?
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our headquarters. There's not much for them to do here at the moment.
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just trying to get them off your back. But never mind that. When did you get back? Were you waiting here the whole time?
No, I just returned after going out for a while.
Wait.
How could I after having such critical
fair.
Guess Paimon wasn't speaking for everyone just now.
Unfortunately, this name seems to have been wiped from existence. It doesn't seem to have a match anywhere. I suspect that those behind this have already taken steps to hinder an investigation from this angle.
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place in Fontaine that they would find almost impossible to threaten. And that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on all the cases in recent years are kept. If the Oceanid you met is one of the young women who went missing recently, we should be able to find some related information there.
So Neuvillette maintains an archive of case files? Whew. Guess that's the hard-working Chief Justice for you. In that case, let's go... Aren't you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing.
That is concerning. That is mildly concerning how she went, That is...
Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Well, that's one way to go into it. Into the Palais Marmonia? Palais Marmonia. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. I love Fontaine's music.
Halt! Please state your business here.
Oh
The
gosh.
chief- Huh.
I hate her.
This place does look pretty heavily guarded.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh?
Oh wait, no,
Who
this
are
is a
you?
different person. This is
Just
Sadine.
to
This
be
is not the
clear,
other one.
I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exception.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep, yep. Paimon can tell. If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit.
No. What I meant to say is, shouldn't you remember us from a few days ago? We were at the trial of the great magician Linny.
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys. It's all coming back to me now.
We're here today to report and archive some information on a follow-up case.
Huh. Is that even a thing?
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief Justice is just inside.
Thank...
Knock knock.
Please come in.
I am so happy that they had him. Oh, you look so good. It makes me be like, should I even bother to go for Linny or just get this man? Because this man looks so good. But I already have like so many Hydro teams. Like a good Hydro team, man.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad?
You're not mad.
We're looking for a man called Vacher. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
You look so good.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that no one by the name of Vacher has been involved in any case, criminal or civil, in the past several years. There are no records of him either in the files or in my memory.
So we're back to square one.
Traveler, what if it was really just a dream?
No, it
Is that
wasn't.
so? All right, then. Thank you so much, Monsieur Neuvillette. We'll take our leave now.
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. There's no emotion behind your words. You only said those things because you felt like you should. It's just like last time. After my father took his place in the duelist ring, I pushed through the guards to talk to you as a last resort. You even told me then that you thought there was something fishy with the case, yet you still allowed the duel to go ahead. In your eyes, the value of a human life is nothing compared to those cold laws you hold so dear. If you truly regret my father's death, then why didn't you call a stop to the duel? Why didn't you give me the power to stop him from throwing his life away? Why did you just let him die? Despised and hated by all. Everything was hanging on a thread at that moment. Just the tiniest effort could have changed everything. There are still so many things I never got to tell him. So many questions he still owes me answers. If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes. I, Navia, will show you the true meaning of regret.
I'm sorry, Miss Navia.
You and my father are truly alike. You keep all kinds of things in your heart and never say a word to anyone. It's Not so much that you can't feel, but that you would never express anything. Oh well. In any case, everyone already knows full well the apathy of the Chief Justice. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Damn. Just said screw you. Your apology means crap. You're saying that just because you have to. Like, you feel like you have to. It's not genuine. If you actually gave a crap, you would have tried to stop it. You would have tried to stop everything that was happening.
I'm fine.
You're right.
Now that I think of it, on the day my father was convicted of murder, it was also raining.
What is it? Did you think of something?
Father's case, was he outside when it happened?
He was outside. It was uncovered and the rain could fall there. Why? Do you think the rain could have affected the crime scene?
Oh, yeah.
That thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that. But didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
Like the people have been turned into water.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water and then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what had happened, then no one would have believed your dad, even if he explained what he saw to the authorities.
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. You're completely right. How did I not connect the dots earlier? All right, let's go to Poisson. With this new lead in mind, we'll get to the bottom of my father's case for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna make progress for sure this...
Do you want to go with me now? Or do you want to head over...
You should go with the idea still fresh.
Go then.
Yeah. Fuck it. Fuck it. Thought for a moment of starting to go ba-na-na-na, and I'm like, no. Wait. Where is it?
I could get used to this.
Oh well. Did I die? I might have died. Nope.
What a huge ship! What?
There's no need to be so surprised. Well, my father was the one. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest.
They're just everywhere under everything.
Bright and
Paimon thought you were bluffing when you said Spina di Rosula had a glorious past. Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the soup. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
well, Poisson is where Spina di Rosula began, after all. It's our main base, our home.
No time to lose.
Ah. How do I get down there? Give me. There we go. I've secured the hydroculi. The only thing that I wanted.
I got plenty of spare Morelats. Minus old TV.
Dum-ba-dum-ba-da-da-da.
No time to lose.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
One with nature.
Bop.
Follow the wind.
Ba-da-dum-bum.
Maloose, we're back.
We are back.
Apologies
my guy.
for the wait, demoiselle, and our most important. You said before that you still had some business.
About that. It's because my partner here reminded me of something really important. You
That's
still
fair.
remember, right, Maloose?
Yeah.
On that night, it was raining?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that of Mr. Linney's. Both were what you'd call...
This might be the same
Tell
person.
us a bit more about what happened.
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called synth began to gain popularity in Poisson. At a glance, it was a kind of drink that could excite your mood and produce many pleasant...
Wait! Didn't that guard guy who turned into water also mention that the primordial water could be used to produce some kind of potion?
Yes, he did. Considering what we know now, it's almost... If you drink synth for an extended amount of time, you'll suffer many side effects, such as losing the ability to focus or control your emotions. And if you were to stop drinking it completely, you'll experience flashes of paranoia and anxiety while lacking energy to do anything. It's an extremely dangerous substance. As he oversaw Poisson, my father was compelled to put a stop to synth abuse and called for a complete ban of it.
Boss's uncompromising attitude incurred the synth vendor's wrath, but no matter how much they threatened or bribed him, he refused to yield. Not only that, the boss became determined to find the mastermind behind the synth operation and put an end to the problem once and...
Yes, but the enemy was very cunning. So he could never get anything out of the dealers, all of whom only sold the stuff and weren't privy to the rest of the operation. Recognizing that, my father decided to contact the dealers in secret and cultivate personal relationships with them. The man's name was Jacques. He felt greatly ashamed about his work after seeing many families destroyed by synth abuse. That night, my father hosted a banquet at his countryside estate. He planned to... But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. We raced to the scene and found my father, still holding a gun, and Jacques, who was already dead on the ground.
Huh? How did that happen? Aren't they on the same side?
Sounds just like Lenny's case, doesn't it? In both cases, the culprit seemed obvious, but neither appeared to have any motive at all. Looking back on it, though, I now believe the most important clue was something we all overlooked at the time. There were pieces of clothing left at the scene.
They could have belonged to the person who got dissolvified.
It's all thanks to you that I made the connection now. Back then, we all just thought they were some costumes that Jacques used to disguise himself at the banquet. But, considering it now, it's almost certain that they belonged to a third person at the scene.
It's also
With
possible
one
the
extra
third person was
person,
to play.
we'll also need to reconsider why the 2 shots were fired. You're right. We still don't know what happened.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned on Boss with zero warning. I think this third person is probably the key to the full. On that note, however, even though this will not please you, demoiselle, as your and your father's butler, our opponent is insidious and cruel. They are extremely difficult to deal with, and Boss has already lost his life trying to bring them to justice. Even though Spina de Rosula has lost most of its former glory, Poisson has welcomed a new time of peace, and we have been allowed to live out our lives. There is no need to follow your father's path. It would be both wise and in line with Boss's wishes to step back and give up on the case.
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Did he manage to protect anything in the... Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful is still his epithet. And Spina di Rosula is barely getting by. Nothing has changed. Did he think I'd just accept his meaningless death and live out my life just as meaningless? I've never accepted that. I want to find out the real answer for everyone's sake. For the missing girls, for the victims, and for myself.
Navia.
This is indeed the best moment to act. Your partner appears to be quite reliable.
So you do know something else, Malus?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between Synth and the serial disappearances case. But what drove all the tensions to the boiling point was the revelation that you, demoiselle, had been selected as the next target to disappear.
What?
Wait.
Boss also didn't tell you that he had been diagnosed with a rare illness. The doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years left, and the serial disappearances case caused 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic before his death. He claimed to have already gotten his hands, but as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence with the public. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victim.
Right. So nobody would be able to get off scot-free?
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss.
Huh.
To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor as the unfaithful was still far preferable than losing face in front of his daughter.
So he chose to die in silence, so that he could protect me.
I'm afraid you're not understanding this correctly, demoiselle. If Boss's spirit could hear you telling me that you want to find the answer for the sake of everyone involved, I'm sure he'd be extremely proud.
That fool. Couldn't he have just given it to me straight? No. He might have set up everything precisely because he never thought I'd be able to understand him. Is that the amount of confidence he had in me? And what if I was never able to make it to where I am now?
He gave you the choice to live how you wanted.
I suppose that's true. With the way he'd set things up, but thankfully, he rarely talked to me about complex matters, and thus understood little of me as a person. In this case, he really didn't need to give me an easy way out. Malus, what was the key evidence that he shared with...
It's the location where Synth is produced. Essentially, it's the enemy's headquarters. When he was threatening the enemy, Boss didn't share the specifics of the incriminating evidence he found. But if you want to use it against the enemy...
Why? If we know where the place is, can't we just go storm naming it.
You mustn't forget that we're fighting against a mysterious and dangerous organization that's been in operation for decades. There's no telling what might be lying in wait at their head, but a single visit to their headquarters would be tantamount to a formal declaration. The worst case would be that we leave empty-handed, but also open ourselves up to full retaliation.
Then, in that case, why not work with the fun?
Well, you saw one of them dissolve during Mr. Linney's case. We have no idea just how thoroughly they...
Huh. That's true. Seems my father really had no choice. But things are different.
You sound like you put a lot of thought
I am the butler, after all. I live but to serve the boss and Demoiselle's will. I've always been willing to take on any kind of risk for your sake. But considering my relative lack of ability, I've spent my time keeping secrets, performing basic investigations, and waiting for the right time to come.
Thank you for all of that, Malus. Have you discovered anything new in the past few years?
Let me think. One conclusion I came to was that the enemy must be quite familiar with Spina di Rosula, or at least have an informant planted here. When I announced orders to the organization's members on Demoiselle's behalf, I used to deliberately keep a few people in the dark and observe the reactions of the synth vendor. If the vendors didn't change their plans, then the individuals informed of our orders must be innocent. If the vendors packed up and fled, however, then someone must have... After several rounds of testing and investigative tracing, the first is Florent, Spina di Rosula's senior advisor.
Huh? Florent?
Yes, surprising, isn't it? He was one of the people boss. Thanks to his position within Boss's innermost circle, there's someone else like him too. Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières.
Uncle Marcel.
What is this
He's
Confrérie?
a guild in Poisson. In the beginning, they were only...
So, they're like a sister organization of Spina di Rosula?
Yes, you can say that. When we were it's a bit difficult to imagine someone using their own money to hunt down themselves.
The final suspect is Thierry, the man responsible for coordinating information between Spina di Rosula. Although the guards mostly leave us to our own devices, since Thierry is always in the know about our current activities, he could theoretically...
I see. These are all people who I communicate with quite regularly. To think that the enemy we've been fighting against has been right next to me all along, among those I trust the most. It's almost too hard to believe.
If you want to investigate them, please take every precaution to not alert the quarry. Judging from our experience, the enemy is extremely cautious.
Of course. And thank you.
You're too kind. And before I forget, proving boss after that, if it might help, you could also...
Aw, thank you so
This is going to
awaits,
draw
my dear
out.
Partner.
Oh my
I
god.
hope we can work
Okay.
It is settled, then. Please excuse me, and...
Thank you for arranging everything.
Excuse me, miss. Do you need anything from us?
Oh,
Hey, Navia's all quiet. This isn't like her at all.
I'm sorry that I only came to visit after all this time. After what happened, I didn't know how I was supposed to face the two of...
Ah, if it's about that, there's no need to apologize. After my husband died, Spina di Rosula sent us a lot of mura and support. I understood your guilt and apology to be genuine.
But aren't all of those things nothing compared to the loss of Jacques? I can understand the kind of pain that comes with losing a father so needlessly.
You don't understand at all.
I didn't know how to face you, because I didn't know what I could possibly bring as a consolation gift. I know only the full truth could bring closure to you, and to all of us.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't have to carry all that guilt. On the matter regarding my husband, my daughter and I have more or less found our answer already.
Would you mind sharing it with me? I really can't believe that my father could ever bring himself to shoot Jacques.
I always knew that my husband's money was earned through others' suffering. He told me countless times that if he could turn back the clock, he would never go into the synth business again. He had many regrets, and felt that he took the idea of providing for his family too literally. For the longest time, he thought Mora was everything. So when Mr. Callis came to him with a proposal, he tried to be as careful as he could, but even so...
They found out about his... But
Papa didn't say that exactly. But Papa did tell me that I should never be ungrateful.
Before he left that day, he told me that he had no choice. It was only later that I realized it was his final farewell to the two of us.
Someone ordered Jack to take out Callis.
I don't know that for sure, but you... Which is why I'm the one who should feel guilty. Callis had always taken great care of us, both when he was still alive and after he passed. Even if he fired the shot that killed my husband, it was likely in self-defense. It is impossible for me to hate him for what he had done.
But Mama, why is Papa still the bad guy if he did the right thing? Papa always wanted to be a good man. So why did he have to do a bad thing in the end?
Well, things aren't always as they seem. You still feel like your Papa was a good man.
Yeah, Papa was a really good man. The best in the whole world.
Then you should hold on to that. If a good man had to do a bad thing, then he must have had his reasons, regardless of whether he left you a parasol or a sword. He must have done so to give you a better life.
Aww.
Oh, thank you for everything you've told me. I will definitely find the truth. The current state of things is not something I'm willing to just sit back and accept.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to hear this from you. Even though your personality is quite different from your father's, your determination when you speak is really similar.
You really think so? That's the first time anyone said that to me.
A testimony from Jack's family. They believed that he had struggled great with the order to kill Callis. Did Callis act in self-defense, or was there more to the incident?
Are you okay, Navia?
I'm fine. Don't worry. Let's investigate the 3 suspects next. Florent should be nearby, and we should be able to find Thierry and Uncle Marcel in the city. I'll get myself together on the way, so please don't worry.
Hello, Florent.
Greetings, boss. How may I be of assistance today?
I'm sure you've heard about...
Yeah, I've heard. With something that dramatic, I'm sure journalists will milk it for all it's worth. And it'll be all the talk for the next several...
It also reminded me, on the day that the incident happened with... After my partner here put the dots together for me, can you do me a favor and try to recall what...
Let me think. Mr. Callis was feeling pretty upbeat that day. So he was drinking and bantering away with us at the table. After that, he told us that he wanted to go get some fresh air. So we let him go without thinking much of it. Who knew that we would hear 2 gunshots ring out right after? My first reaction was that Mr. Callis's life was in danger. So I grabbed my holster and made a mad dash toward the... But when I got there, it was already too late. Mr. Callis was standing over...
So you also remember 2 gunshots then?
Indeed. The guard said that the first shot didn't hit anyone, while the second killed Jacques. But I've never really bought that explanation. Reason being, Mr. Callis had left his gun on the table. I even made sure to confirm that before running to the scene. But according to the guards, that doesn't mean he couldn't have had other guns on his person. About the clothes left at the scene that you mentioned. Do you think there was a third...
At least from our perspective, my father had no reason to kill. So he would also have no reason to bring an extra gun with him. The gun he was holding probably belonged to Jacques, or a third person.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you're saying, But hold on. If that's what had happened, he didn't even want to face the Oratrice machine, and chose instead to prove his honor Did he lose all faith in the courts after seeing someone dissolve right in front of his eyes?
About that, Malus told me I'll tell you everything.
I understand. Then I'll leave Mr. Callus's. And if I may just say one more thing. The whole Callus Many people have laughed at me for still calling him Mr. Callus, even after so many years have passed. But it was Mr. Callus's trust, no matter what others might say. He'll always be the man I respect the most. And he'll always be my boss.
Don't worry. I will definitely find the truth. You and all our other comrades at the Spina deserve to know the truth as well.
The advisor Spina de la Rosa claimed that he was very grateful to Callus for his kindness. He was also present at the banquet on the day the Gates can provide evidence that Callus did not carry a gun with him. Okay. You.
Hey, Thierry. It's...
Oh, now, what brings you here, Miss...
Oh, so you've got news of that already.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm also a member of the guards.
Either him or the uncle.
The way you make it sound, people would think I was sent off to Poisson because I had done something wrong.
Are you sure there isn't a little bit of truth in that? Under normal...
I mean, where I work, it's really up to me. Let's just say I enjoy the ambiance of Poisson. Callus did a fantastic job running the town. Building Spina di Rasula from the ground. It would be next to impossible for me to find a similarly easy but high-paying job in the city. Anyway, enough chit-chat.
Yes. These two are my partner. What happened at the Opera House made us realize...
I get it. You think there might be more to the case now that we know people can be dissolved into water, right? I was also flabbergasted when I first heard of it. If you want to go through the original files from your father's case...
That'd be much...
Of course. Without them, I couldn't possibly handle Poisson on my own. Why do you ask? We definitely can't use them to forcefully get more evidence for your father's...
Well, you see, just recently, we were attacked by a horde of... So, if you, hypothetically, wanted to do something against...
Then you think too highly of my abilities. Dispatching mecha is very different from controlling. If I had to make an analogy, when you order a dish, the chef will make it for you. You can ask the chef to cook, but not to massage your shoulders or carry your baggage. If you try to make unreasonable demands, the chef would just think you're out of your mind and ignore you completely. The same goes for me and my Gardamex. Removing a serial number is also not as easy as you might think. There are a lot of complex steps to it, and it's almost impossible to keep it a secret. So I can promise you, those mecha were definitely private units. They're certainly not cheap. So, whoever their owner is must be super rich, powerful, or both. Now that you mention it, though, being in the synth business would definitely be profitable enough to afford this.
Oh, then you're officially in the clear, Thierry.
Oh, well, thank you for the vote of confidence, Navia. Jokes aside, I'd like to wish you all the best with your investigation. I'll be staying in the city for a little while, so just come find me if you need any support from the guards.
Okay. Thierry is the person responsible for official contact between Spina del Rosala and the guardies. According to him, only the sufficient rich can privately on large number. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to take a call, so I need to contact Marcel, wherever the hell Marcel is. Gotta contact Marcel. Trying to figure out where the hell he is. Is he over here? I think he's right there. I think is this Marcel? Is this Marcel? This is Marcel. Hello, Marcel. I have to talk it to... Wait, you're not Marcel.
Hello. How may I help? I'm here to see Marcel. Sure.
Yes.
I will let him...
Let us speak to Marcel. After waiting a while, Marcel arrives in a hurry.
Ah, Navia, hello. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm not as young as I used to be, so my legs are giving out a bit.
That is not the voice I pictured him to have.
There's no need. I just wanted to talk to you briefly about what happened in the opera house.
Yes, I've never seen anything so strange.
Oh, you were at the...
That's
Really?
right. I went there with Navia to see the magic show. Who knew it would turn into a whole murder mystery? I also witnessed your marvelous sleuthing work. Quite impressive. To beat the Hydro Archon at her own game on her own turf, I can already imagine everyone in Fontaine discussing your
Oh, Paimon doesn't want to become the talk of drunkard.
Apologies. It's just how Fontaine is as a nation. Everyone loves drama and theatrics.
Uncle Marcel, you've also noticed that other thing, right? The fact that humans...
Yes. I was reminded of your father's case right away.
Exactly. I still don't have much solid proof.
Oh, and...
We were attacked on Araneus by some unnumbered Gardamex. And there was also an attempt to get me to drink water from the primordials. If not for the vigilance of my partner, I probably wouldn't even be here talking to you.
Oh, you're giving us too much credit.
Alas, it seems things are heating up again. The peace that Callus sought so dearly will soon become a thing of the past. But rest assured, Navia, Poisson will always remain a safe haven. If anyone dares to lay their hands on you there, the Confrérie of Cabrières will use its funds to the last Mora to bring them to justice.
Thank you, Uncle Marcel. But I don't... And do you have any new thoughts on my father's...
About that. Sorry. The Confrérie was responsible for that banquet. So I was
Wait,
out
what
and
if
about the whole
Malleus...
time. Then I heard the sound of a gunshot.
Oh, it's okay. No need to push yourself.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you ever need Mora. All my wealth comes from Callus's patronage and support. I'll spend however much it takes to clear his name.
Marcel is the leader of the Confrérie of Cabrières and was the organizer of the banquet years prior. The Confrère and the Spina del Rosa have always maintained a close working relationship. Though his recollection of the events of the case is quite foggy, he's willing to defend Navia.
Into the wind.
We've talked to all...
None of them sounded particularly suspicious.
Yeah.
I suppose that's to be expected, though. Anyway, even though we didn't make a breakthrough...
But where should we start?
Jacques' motive.
According to Jacques' family members, he already told them that he had been discovered, and that he had no choice before he left home that day. If I had to guess, he probably received an order from the synth boss to kill my father. Had he refused, he and his family's lives would have been forfeit.
So, Jacques fired the first shot?
If I was Shock, I wouldn't have fired a shot at all.
And why is that?
Could he guarantee his safety after killing Callis?
Ooh, that's a good point. Jacques probably already knew that he was just being used as a tool for murder. And once he had completed his mission, he'd be
So it was at the boss.
So, what would make more sense from his perspective would be to turn his back on the Order and seek protection from my father.
Seems the third person was the one who derailed everything.
Makes sense. But without evidence, that's still just... Besides, Jacques, the attack from the Gardamex has been... It's obvious that our enemy has become more antsy after the secret of the primordial seawater was revealed.
Do you think he knew, even then, that we'd follow this lead to the...
Given everything that's happened since, but who among the three suspects would have the ability to control privately owned Gardamex?
Marcel.
Uncle Marcel? My father did really trust him, and with funds from the Confrérie, he could also afford a large number of Gardamex. Still really hard for me to imagine, though. Also, wouldn't this mean he has been spending a whole lot of Mora and energy to fight his own sin?
Maybe it was somebody else. Freck. I don't think it's Floron.
Mary, you say? Huh. But I didn't feel like he was lying when he was talking to us about the Mecha. I also don't think he...
Yeah. Had he actually tampered? If the Mecha were taken from the guards, it should be pretty easy to find out.
Who? I don't... He seems least likely.
It is true that he would... But as Spina di Rosula's advisor, his work mostly deals with personnel and security.
Yeah.
So you're saying he's too broke to...
Exactly. He can't. And even if he could, who could it be?
Think...
You know, if you think everything through, Uncle...
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know about the people turning into water thing when he narrowed it down to these three.
Malus has always been very reliable. The suspect is knowledgeable about the Spina's internal affairs, has the means to dispatch Mecha to assassinate us, and possesses... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all tie back to Uncle...
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and speculating.
It's in production base.
We need far more...
Navia,
Is it Silver?
Here you are. Oh, I've been looking for you.
Huh? Aren't you the guy from the guards?
Yeah. News came from Irenaeus just after you left.
Wasn't that place built specifically for holding trials?
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a...
Wait, why child?
What? Is that someone you know?
Yeah, we know him. Maybe even a little too well.
Well, he's been accused of being the true culprit behind
That
the
makes
series
no
of disappearances.
sense.
Wait, how? None of our investigations
Yeah.
had anything to do with him.
That's what I thought was strange about it, so I came to tell you the news right away. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be next to impossible to get the guards to support any of our planned investigations.
Right. Because they'll think they've already found the
Yeah. And it'll be a lot harder.
I understand.
Let's split up.
Split up? What do you mean?
You can go to the Arenas while going... I'm confident in my combat abilities.
Since this is You're right. This is our best opportunity. All right then. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence. It'll be up to you.
We'll help you. Just like...
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Ah, Malou, Silver.
We heard that you'll be leaving Poisson and figured that you might require... It's our hope that your confidence will be bolstered with the two of us, but...
Thank you so much.
See you then!
Mining information regarding the trademark the investigation results so far has concluded that there is only one person who could have a large number of Granamax in his possession and ruin the synth business without leaving traces. That person is none other than Marcel. it really seems to be Marcel. It's the only guy that makes sense. He has money, and he basically isn't losing money by funding stuff against him.
Now that Navia has set out for Irenaeus, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. According to Melusa's...
I shall go to here. I am on the case.
Let's go and try to find the entrance.
What do you know? What
Finally,
do you know?
Found it. Huh. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production
Yeah,
base.
but I'm sure what we find inside will be extraordinary.
Navia's probably arguing up a storm right now to stall for us.
Meanwhile, inside the Opera Epiclese,
It would appear that I must repeat my question again, Mr. Tartaglia. Do you accept the charge that you are the true culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why I'm being charged with something I've never even heard of. However, I did hear that people who have been charged can choose to participate in a duel to clear their name. Is that right? In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I can have an all-out fight with that champion duelist Clorend, right?
Of course he would.
I've got to admit, that's one of the most enticing offers I've ever received. When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back. Real disappointing.
Hey! Don't you understand?
Oh my god, shut up.
You're currently the prime suspect for a major case. This isn't the place for you to be looking for fights.
Well, he has literally no motive at all to be doing this stuff.
The Archon wants to lecture me on the ways of the Opera House. Then why don't you duel me too? I'm the kind of student that learns best in the heat of battle.
No. That's not what I meant.
Alas, it would appear that communication with the defendant is going poorly, and we have made very little progress. In that case, let me explain everything from the very beginning again. The goal of this trial is to determine the culprit behind the serial disappearances case.
That case had nothing to do with him. You've got the wrong man. Huh? What's going on? Why is she interjecting again?
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui Harbingers.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've interrupted the court proceedings. I only tolerated your behavior last, but that was an exception rather than standard court protocol. I can very well charge you with contempt of court for it.
Oh, please. Did you ever think I had any respect for this place's pointless theatrics? We can put that discussion aside for now. I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to charge the true culprit behind the serial and if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia here will be proven innocent by default.
Oh, a young lady has charged in and offered to clear my name. How fascinating. Well, I'd gotten half bored to death by all these rules and procedures anyway, so I'll take you up on that offer. So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me to do now?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss Navia, who...
That person is...
Has to be Marcel.
Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières. Huh? What Confrérie? Never heard of them in my...
I've heard of them, but weren't they Spina di Rosula's sister organization?
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Oh.
Please let me remind you, Miss Navia.
I hate the audience so much.
It's an incredibly serious matter. Committing to the charge also means taking on the legal responsibilities associated with it. And if the charge fails, depending on the circumstances, you may also be charged with the crime of making a false accusation.
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Miss Navia and attorneys, please take your places on the court. Members of the guards, please contact Mr. Marcel right away so that he may stand trial.
Sometime a shocked and confused Marcel is brought to the stands. It has to be you.
Mr. Marcel, you will not require an attorney.
Apologies. It all just happened so quickly. I still haven't figured out what's going on. I think an attorney won't be necessary. This is probably just a misunderstanding between me and Navia.
Very well. In that case, since both sides have now arrived, Miss Navia, please present your...
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago, to the case of Callus the Unfaithful. Only through elucidating what really happened in that case can we connect all the dots for the serial disappearances.
Navia, do you really think that I was the one who killed your father? Come on, why would I do that? Callus was my benefactor, and remember, both you and I only ran to the scene when we heard the sound of a gun. If that's enough to make me a suspect, wouldn't that make everyone at that banquet a suspect as well?
I think there's no point
Just
in getting
shut up,
into
Farina.
the specifics right now. The audience doesn't even have the big picture yet. Even I'm struggling to remember some details of that case.
You know nothing of the case.
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must refresh everyone's memory about that case.
Can we just
before I
have
can
the
explain my
fucking
charge and
novelette
reasoning.
be the guy that's just like...
In which case, I will
The
recount
guy
findings
running
about that case
Fontaine, yes,
originally
he can be a
recorded by
dick
Maison
sometimes with the
Gardiennage.
ruling, but like, she is just incompetent.
On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, all attending guests heard 2 gunshots from the courtyard. When the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect, Callus, holding a gun, while his acquaintance, Jacques, lay dead from a gunshot. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. As a result, they concluded that the suspect's first shot must have missed, while the second must... The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself in court. Instead, Callus was defeated by champion... These are the known facts.
The one with the motive to kill was Jacques, not my father. And in truth, the third person shot Jacques first, and was shot in turn by my father when my father... After that, the true culprit turned the third person into water. Thank you for the summary, Your... However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information about the abilities of water from the primordial sea.
Navia's turn. Okay. First up. Day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet at the courtside. Okay. During the banquet, while attending heard 2 gunshots. Okay.
Something's not...
You from the courtyard, according to the investigation, who had a motive. That is that, but... It must have been that, yeah. Okay, the testimony of the victim's family confirms that Jacques had thought of assassinating Callus when he set up for the banquet.
However, in the end, he reconsidered, and instead shared every... Unfortunately for Jacques,
Yep.
the true culprit had already
First shot must have missed, while the second must have taken Jacques' life. I think this is this one, no?
Something...
There we go,
Pile
okay.
of clothing was found at the scene. The guards once believed they were used by Jacques as a costume to disguise himself. But now, since it was raining that day, the culprit was confident that they could use the rain to wash away all traces of their dissolved accomplice.
The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, also declined. I'm just gonna see. There we go.
This assassin
Okay.
first shot Jacques, then turned to shoot Callus, only for Callus to wrestle the gun from him and kill him instead.
There we go. That's enough right now.
Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve into water, leading everyone to believe Callus was responsible for Jacques' murder.
I'm like actually having to think with these court cases.
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the primordial sea has been used for all these years?
What a great theory. It also explains Callus's and Jacques' respective motives. I guess they didn't shoot each other after all.
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the crime. You should provide a rebuttal if you wish to prove your innocence.
Ah, but I think I agree with everything Navia just said. In fact, there was nothing in her speech that directly implicated me.
Then, may I ask some questions? In my opinion, we primarily need to determine two. One, do you have the evidence to back up your claims?
We have testimonies from the people involved.
I'm afraid not. At least not at this...
Boo! If you don't have any evidence, you should just go
Oh,
home.
just shut up.
I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to collect it. If we look up the deserted clothes against a record of people who went missing around the same time, we should be able to find it. Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards probably kept careful records of all missing persons from around that time, regardless of age or gender.
That makes sense to me. Monsieur Neuvillette, I would consider this to be a reasonable investigative direction.
Why do I feel like Farina's acting a little differently today?
Maybe she's scared of embarrassing herself again?
Alternatively, she's become more diligent after charging an innocent citizen in the last...
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is indeed as you just... Then why didn't Mr. Callus explain himself in court? If he had testified that a person had been dissolved, he could have at least mounted a defense.
I've thought about this too, and the answer is actually pretty simple. He felt there were things that were more important. The dissolving power of water from the primordial sea is an important secret. My father could have exposed it for all to see, but he chose to take it to the grave. At that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and his reputation had already been shattered. He had no guarantee that going forward with the truth would allow the culprit to be brought to justice. What was certain, however, was that it would paint a gigantic target on my back.
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected as the next target of the serial disappearances case.
What? If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there and then. I wouldn't have been the only one in danger. All of us would have stood to lose our... Of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter and determine that we were in the right, but what good would that do? How can a hollow verdict protect anyone? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence in its brand of justice, Spina di Rosula would have had no reason to exist. But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter our opponents and continue the stalemate. I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, which made me harder to target, as well as giving me more time to grow and learn. And once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will do what this opera house cannot.
That's fair,
and
yeah.
restore my father's truth and honor back to him.
So, you mean to say... your father intended to die in the duelist's ring?
That's right.
Do you have any proof?
Of course. All you need is to ask his opponent, Clarand. I don't need your apology, your guilt, or your support from the shadows. You don't have to do anything for my sake. But since he entrusted his will to you, Clarand, you should tell us the truth about his sacrifice.
So, during the duel...
Yes, I did. As a champion duelist, I've fought many battles and taken a countless number of dishonored lives. In my line of work, I've seen all kinds of people give their all for the faintest hope to continue living. Some were determined, others passionate. Just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to live, or if they're looking to die. I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callus never intended to leave the ring alive.
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions. It appears there really are good grounds to reopen this case.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father's case...
Right? What she said was fast.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial disappearances case?
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected via a matter of timing. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques and Callus. As a result, they planned to act after hearing 2 gunshots. And, at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized they were at risk of being identified. The culprit could only time their actions so precisely if they were already at the scene. Coincidentally, Marcel attended both the banquet and the trial.
So that's why you suspected me. Even after hearing your reasoning, I still can't help but find it a little preposterous. I'm used to it, though. You've always been an impulsive and sentimental child, Navia. It's one of your most endearing traits.
No need to appeal to pathos.
I won't try to refute your points one by one, but even if everything you just said was true, can you prove that I was the only person present at both events? On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the timing? Can't someone remotely monitor the place?
Don't know what she can say to that.
I know that even with that, you might still think you can reduce the list of suspects with some further investigations, until I'm the only one left on the list. Alas, who won't feel at least a little hurt by an accusation of murder from a girl you see as your own daughter? But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Ah well, let Uncle Marcel teach you another lesson. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reasoning is?
I suppose you're gonna tell me anyways.
It's timing again. I'm a businessman by trade. From that standpoint, there's no reason for me to kidnap young women. It's a high-risk action with nothing to gain. In addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business only thrived when I received Callus's patronage. But the disappearances began before I ever stepped foot in Fontaine.
I do apologize, Demoiselle. This was my mistake.
No, it's not your fault. I'm sure he had come prepared.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? Would you like to check the date of my first business license against the first known case of the serial disappearances? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask my friends and family when I left Snezhnaya for the first time. Could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?
Seems like she got the wrong guy. At this rate, Navia will be convicted for falsely accusing him.
I think you've done a superb job of dissecting your father's feelings as he neared the end of his life. But aren't you going against all of his wishes and expectations right now? He wished for you to become more rational, collected, and conscientious once you've learned to be more considerate of others' feelings and to stop rushing headlong into things. You'd have met most of his expectations.
This isn't just about me. And it never... The biggest difference between me and the rest of the victims is that I still have the ability to search for the truth. While that same agency has long been taken from them, the people whose families were destroyed by synth abuse, the people who lost their loved ones to the serial disappearances, and the people who suffered tragic ends due to their sense of justice. Many people's images are flashing before my eyes. I'm sure some are coming to those of you in the audiences. And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vacher? Oh, so you do know that name.
I'm merely surprised you'd suddenly say the name of someone I've never even heard of.
That's a lie.
I was waiting for you to say that.
A little while earlier, at the entrance of the synth production base. Oh, that's gotten juicy. See, I have a friend that does not like the back and forth court trials and finds them boring. To me, this has been probably some of the best overall, like when it reaches climactic points in the story, for all of Genshin, for me. Personally, of course. Interesting.
Time to go.
I'm gonna have to let the kitty cat out. And we shall continue.
The wind knows me. I'm going in! Check this out! Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt.
Bum 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 ba bum ba 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 bum.
Whoa! The floor is going up! Is it because of this mechanism in the middle? That guy really prepared a lot of stuff for this place.
How does one get up after falling? Or did I do a mess up? Did I do a mess up? Oh no, it comes back down. Okay. I'm like, did I mess up? Okay, I'll quickly look. I had received a messenger. I mean, sure, if you want to. Omar, you can show your character's build. I'm perfectly fine with that. And sorry if it's... Don't know when you post that. I'm not sure if you're still here, but if you're still here, sure.
The wind knows me.
Wish I understood what Paimon said.
Time to go.
Oh gosh. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I don't understand.
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
I'm confused.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
I'm trying to figure out... how I do this.
Into the wind.
Means I'm supposed to... trying to figure out how do I do this?
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
Trying to figure out how to do this. Am I just dumb?
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
So I need to go up there, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I literally don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to get that spinning somehow. I'm just trying to think on where I could go. Because I can go down there, but I can't break that. So I'd have to drain the water somehow, and I currently don't know how to drain the water. So I'm kind of just stuck sitting here wondering what the hell am I supposed to do? So it's kind of me having to figure out what it is that I need to do. Because I hit the wall and it did not work. Unless I'm doing something wrong, which I might be doing. First, I'm going to try to get back to here, because I think I might have missed a chest or something over here. So if I can make it back up, that would be quite lovely.
Follow the wind.
No, I can't make it up. Okay, that's fair. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. I literally... I don't understand. Hold on. Where the hell... Where the hell? I'm so confused. Am I supposed to be hitting something else? I don't understand. That this whole time. I could have done that this whole time! Certified idiot. Certified freaking idiot. I am so good at this game. I'm telling you, you can't make this shit up. For all the people having to watch this and scream at me in the comments being like, what the hell, I am completely sorry.
The water level is rising. Now we can swim to the top. But this is still a ways away from where we need to go.
Are you just not going to let me back? Or are you going to let me back? Okay, you're just not going to let me back. Okay, well, that's a common chest I'm not going to get my hands on. That is depression, but, you know, oh well.
Time to go.
The wind knows.
As one with
This is
wind
more
and
my
cloud.
specialty. Beating the crap out of random things.
Everybody stand back!
Supporting fire!
Into the wind.
Bop. But open the door? What does this do? Oh, it just raises the water more. Okay.
Now the path is clear. Let's go.
Yep, this is now locked now. Damn. Oh well. Weird place. Ha! Almost can catch you.
No time to lose.
That is one random hydro sigil. And like 2 primo gems that are mine now. Oh. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting.
The wind's nosy. Clouds high. The birds
Bob.
come
Bob.
into the wind.
Bob. 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 Bob.
Shouldn't let your guard down.
To this day, everyone's favorite childmate still playing child.
Here's backup.
One with nature.
Let's light it up!
Okay. Did we find it the place?
After all that, we finally made it to the... Though, as expected, the mastermind isn't here.
It's being charted by Navi as we speak.
That's right. Then let's hurry up.
Yeah. Random little box.
Pink accessories, a hair tie, a necklace, even a makeup box.
There's a name too.
Paimon sees it too, but... Why
They probably belong to the victims.
You mean the girls from... And then... They were... And all the boxes of things. These names.
The missing person's possessions. Discover the boxes with the containers labeled with the names of those who own them within the depths of the HQ. The names here must have something to do with the victims. In the serial disappearance case, this might be proof that this was their final stop.
Oh, look! There's an important-looking basin over here. And it's full of water.
Must be the water from the primordial sea.
This is where they make all the synths. And that special water is the... If you dilute it with normal water, you'll get synths. But the pure stuff can dissolve a human. Paimon will take notes on this incriminating...
Primordial seawater pool. The pool found within the HQ is filled with water from the primordial sea. The mastermind can use this to create synth and directly use it to dissolve people.
Let's see what's written here. Nothing escaped... Callus. Navia's
Be an
father.
investigation report on him.
Oh, this seems to be an investigation.
Probably related to his and Jack's case.
Yep. It's about finding someone to
Yep.
assassinate Jacques and Callus. because of a lack of confidence that Jacques himself would go through. This should prove the existence of the third person, right?
Yep. Anything else?
We still have not determined the exact content of the key information Callus has passed on to certain members of his organization. The old dog's a real menace to deal with. Even if he abides by the promise he's made to us, he will still have the upper... He can act whenever he wants to make our lives miserable. The only option left is to remove him from the picture, and I concur. Let's send someone to kill him. He won't declare war as long as we don't touch Navia. Oh, seems like we've got a bunch of correspondence between the higher-ups.
They planned this well in advance.
They're all just so evil.
Callus investigation report. Clues concerning Callus's case that were found inside the bookshelf. The mastermind did not believe that Jacques would do the deed, and thus sent a third party to ensure Callus's death. The content that followed are also to find the culprit's motive to some extent. This.
Whoa! There's so much synth here! And so many bottles of ingredients that probably just contain the waters of the primordial sea.
There's so many.
Mixing in progress. Ready to drink? Stock sample? Huh. They've also got all the scents pretty clearly labeled. Whoa! There's even fruit-flavored scents?
Well, that's evidently proof this is where they produce scent. Scent. A popular potion circulating quite wildly gives the drinker a very pleasant experience for a short time, but its side effects are equally strong. The producer uses the special characteristics to earn a massive profit from its trade.
What's this over here? Looks like some kind of... Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions on the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve... The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved.
Calm down.
Sorry, Traveler. Paimon will try her best. It's just, how could someone write something that terrible in such a matter-of-fact tone? You read the rest. Paimon's too scared to keep going.
Gold researchers to save his lover, a woman called Fignier, who was dissolved.
So that's why he did all of the... Wait, did he really think he'd be able to find a way just by dissolving...
Is it the freaking... Was she the one who dissolved and he's the... Another name here, Vache.
Isn't that the name you
Yeah.
Paimon thought...
I think he's the cause of them.
serial disappearances case.
No, he's the researcher.
You mean Vache is the one who did all of these... experiments?
Yes, he signed up on a bunch of experiment reports. The voice I heard from the fountain was probably... can't pronounce her.
Vache was no victim, but personally took his lover. No, that's not it either. If that's the case, why
There
would
must be more to this. Yeah.
in any case?
Vache's experimental records. Experiment number 16 aims to verify Jacob Ingold's research conclusions of the primordial sea and use his theory as a foundation to achieve a breakthrough. The experiment was a failure. No individual managed to resurface from the water from the primordial sea. Female specimens 22, 23, and 24 were dissolved. Oh boy.
We've looked at almost everything here, and it seems like our
Who really
theories
is
were
Vache?
Yeah. We haven't found anything that reveals... No wonder even Neuvillette wasn't able to find anything. Whoever... That way, even if we bring all this back to the opera, we won't be able to
Clever,
identify
but
the...
maybe not
Sure
clever
thing.
enough. Table. This is the sense. This is the cargo. After some time.
Nothing at all. And Paimon can't
Of course you're only thinking about food. Miss emergency food. I found it.
Really? Let Paimon see.
Behold the Book of Vache. Venier.
Vache's left. Then you found... Aw. It's just a normal diary chronicling their love story. She was so sweet, too. Oh, Paimon feels even worse for her now.
Take a look at this page. She made a list of baby names.
So many. A whole page's worth. The final name she decided, Marcel. Wait, but Marcel's pretty old. Has this case been going on for so long that he's Vache and Venier's grown son?
Figure it out. Let's go. Venier's notebook belonging to a lady named Venier. She records many stories of her time with her lover Vache. One of these pages, she prepared many names for their future child, and the name she settled on in the end was Marcel. Freaking knew. After obtaining the final piece of key evidence, you race back to the Opera Epiclese.
And whose image do you see, Marcel? Is it a man named Vache? Oh, so you... I was waiting for you to say...
Navia! We're back!
As expected of my partner. I just knew you'd return.
Just how often do you intend to flout the rules of this court?
It's all right, Monsieur Nervalette. Given their confidence, I expect they've found the crucial evidence.
You say you've never heard of Vache. Explain.
But the truth of it, Marcel, is that you've always been Vache.
Oh!
Huh?
We've investigated your lair. We already know everything. After your lover, Venier, was dissolved, you kept abducting young women to experiment on the hopes of bringing her back to you. You even created Marcel as a new identity and destroyed all records of your past as Vache.
So that's it. Even the villains in opera performances rarely go that far. And with that, Marcel's motive has now been... This information regarding your past also dismantles your prior timing defense. Well, Marcel, do you know where you went wrong? You fixated your gaze on the lover that passed away, instead of paying attention to the living people around you. So, you never noticed how we changed, or how we grew as individuals.
You also never understood Boss's real expectations for his daughter.
Or our determination to see things through.
Your determination.
Mr. Marcel, please speak up now if you would like to defend yourself. Otherwise, the trial will move on to the...
Do you really think I wanted to do any of this? Pay attention to you? What for? Have you ever paid attention to me? Ever empathized with my pain? Ever known how it feels to watch the love of your life dissolve right in front of your eyes? No one helped me. No one even believed me. All those decades ago, even the officers from the Maison Gardiennage were laughing at me. They said there's no way a human being can turn into water. So I must have gone mad from grief. Venier's death was brushed away by all of you as if it didn't matter at all. Well, now you know, don't you? Ha! Well, it's too late now. All those who were dissolved are gone forever. You only have yourselves to blame. You set up this ornate opera house in pursuit of your so-called justice. Your beloved drama.
I love this.
While turning a blind eye to the suffering of the people. Venier is dead. We promised each other that we would always be together. Wherever she goes.
He's going to water himself.
But I'm not from this blasted place.
Oh yeah, because he's from Snezhnaya.
Be dissolved. No matter what I do. I can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Can't dissolve! Do you all see? I can't go! I can't follow. So if I can't go where she is, what choice do I have but to try to bring her back? I did all of that, and in the end, that accursed Callus still got the better of me. I spent my entire life living on pins and needles, only to get stabbed by his idiot daughter at the very end.
The suspect is exhibiting signs of mental distress.
Don't touch me! Don't anybody come near me! I still need to save Vignier. I promise. Vignier. Vignier! Please, Vignier. Don't think badly of me. All I want to do is fulfill...
At this point, the verdict of this trial is clear. With Mr. Marcel's conviction,
Fine by me. I was in a bad mood, but after a show like that, I'm actually feeling pretty good.
Traveler, please submit all the evidence you have collected.
Novelet proceeds to review and compile all the evidence
the
and
man
records.
now known as Marcel was originally named Vacher and worked as an adventurer with his partner and lover Vignier. During an underwater expedition, Vignier accidentally came into contact with water from the primordial sea and was dissolved in front of Vacher as a result. Vacher learned of the primordial water's existence through the work of others and began to kidnap young women for research. To cover his tracks, he invented the new alias of Marcel and began to operate a business in Poisson. During the course of his research, Vacher discovered that a diluted concoction of water from the primordial sea can induce feelings of euphoria and began to manufacture. However, as he accumulated wealth to fund his continued research and expanded the scope, he came into conflict with Spina di Rasula. After exchanging blows with Spina di Rasula for many years, Vacher decided to assassinate their president Callus at a banquet. Although the assassination did not go as Vacher expected, he was able to turn Callus into the murder suspect by dissolving the assassin he sent to the scene. And just recently, Vacher attempted to frame Linny as the culprit of the serial disappearances case, using a similar method. However, his attempt to frame Linny failed, and the power of water from the primordial sea became public knowledge. This case also exposed enough of Vacher's machinations that he was eventually successfully charged in court. Thus concludes the enigmatic history of the serial disappearances case, with the truth revealed to all. The Oratrice will now deliver the final verdict regarding the charges against Mr. Vacher.
Guilty. That's actually satisfying, especially if it's guilty.
According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Vacher is guilty.
Guards! Take Vacher away.
You do nothing for Rena.
Good. It's what he deserved.
With that, the serial disappearances case is over now.
We really just witnessed history. Who would have thought the true culprit would be such a polite and well-spoken guy?
Yippee! We helped Navia bring the bad guy to justice! He's hurt so many innocent people and now he's... Huh? Are you okay?
Javier.
Demoiselle, you were absolutely brilliant.
The day our late boss had always hoped for has finally come.
Yeah. It's finally over.
I love her voice
It's all
actor.
thanks to you guys.
Like, you can hear
And
the
my
emotion.
partner. See, Papa? Spina di Rosula's still doing well with me at the helm.
Well now, hasn't this been a most delicious piece of drama? The villain has been caught, justice has been served, past wrongs have been righted, and it's a big ol' happy end. Since it's been such a great show, I'll just let the false accusations against me slide. Either way.
Please wait just one moment, Mr. Tartaglia.
What now?
He's innocent.
None of this has anything to do with me.
According to court protocol, since this trial was initiated due to a charge against you, a verdict must also be...
Oh, come on. Is this really necessary? Haven't you already caught the real criminal? Isn't it time for side characters like me to exit stage left?
Please respect the laws of Fontaine. This has always been the rule.
All right, but this sure is a lot of hassle. All I need to do is stand over there, right? Let's just get this over with.
Through evidence presented in the public trial that was just held, It has been established that Mr. Tartaglia has... The guilty party has been identified, and thus it is logical to suppose Mr. Tartaglia is innocent. We now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Mr. Tartaglia is guilty.
What?
Hey! That's not funny! Didn't you just say I'm supposed to be innocent? What's with this verdict? Is your justice machine malfunctioning?
Huh? This has never happened before. The Oratrice actually returned a different verdict from the Chief Justice.
I mean, have you ever heard of an innocent Fatui Harbinger? Do you think the Oratrice might have just convicted him on general principle?
But weren't the charges about the serial disappearances case? No matter what else he's guilty of, it shouldn't affect the verdict in this case, right?
The judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale is, by law...
Okay, that's bullshit.
...to the court. Guards, please take the suspect into custody per...
That's bullshit. That is straight up bullcrap. Okay. Oh, child action?
So this is how justice is done in Fontaine. What a joke.
Yeah. What's Tartaglia here?
You've got your rules. Well, I've got mine too!
Why can't we have this as a skin? It's just a recolor. But I want it. 'Cause he looks so good. Ooh. I love the Fatui motif. And the electric guitar for a child. Oh. Okay.
I am sorry. If you have been wronged, we will find the truth. But the rules of the court must be upheld.
Oh, he hurt him. But he one-shot child. I'm very confused.
Monsieur Novelette, what's going on? Shouldn't they have been cleared already?
Apologies. This is also the first time I've encountered such a situation. However, according to the rules established at the conception of Fontaine's court system, the Oratrice's judgment...
That's bullcrap.
All I do is follow court procedure. As for why the Oratrice arrived at the conclusion it did, you should probably ask someone more knowledgeable than me.
If you and the Chief Justice isn't known, we have no choice but to ask the Archon herself.
Why are you looking at me? I had nothing to do... I don't know what happened there either. Hey, stop staring at me!
What does Lady Farina mean by that?
She says she has no idea either, but that's impossible. Didn't she create the Oratrice herself?
Yeah, so are the verdicts reliable or not? Can results like this really be called justice?
My dearest citizens, did you really think we'd allow an incorrect verdict to be handed out in this court? Did you really believe that the judgment could be mistaken or be the result of some sort of random mishap? Don't tell me. You thought even I had been blindsided.
You were. You straight up were like, I don't know what's happening.
She looked just now. It was pretty obvious she had no idea what was going on.
However, given the state of things, I shall give you an explanation. Everything that just took place, including my supposed shock...
That's a lie.
...was a part of an elaborate performance, with every action and... of course, for every performance there is a script. Everything has unfolded exactly as I expected from the very beginning. As the embodiment of the very concept of justice, the Oratrice shall never render an arbitrary judge. If you thought Child had nothing to do with the serial disappearances case...
What the hell did he do?
Everything he's done not to mention the danger he poses, are beyond ordinary
This is
comprehension
stupid.
and completely unforgivable.
Can I just punch her?
All shall be revealed in time. You will come to understand my noble
Like, I genuinely don't like her.
as well as the absolute correctness of the oratrice's verdict. Now, having said that, although I hate to leave things hanging in
Nah.
it is now time for this performance.
Nah.
As the lead actress, I shall be the first to take
No.
my lead.
So she chose to make her escape after all, did she?
So you're saying we shouldn't put
Yeah.
stock in...
She probably just put on that performance to save face. As for the truth, it's unlikely that she actually has any idea.
Yeah,
However,
exactly.
Please be assured that I will continue to investigate this case in a personal capacity. Just as I promised, if the judgment has been incorrect, we will do our utmost to clear his name.
All right. Even though we feel pretty bad. After all, he's done plenty of bad stuff.
I'm just trying. I really dislike that character. Like, I understand there's the struggle of, like, because I'm pretty sure she's not the first Hydra Archon, so I understand the struggle of trying to uphold to, like, a legacy in that, and still appear that I know what I'm doing, but it's obvious she doesn't know what she's doing, and she's just a spoiled brat putting on a facade. It's one of the things where the people are idiots, and hearing her talk annoys me.
Hey, what are you doing? Quick, stop him!
Traveler! Hey! Traveler!
Marcel! What are you...
Stop resisting arrest! Cease, or we'll add another charge to...
No, wait! I just want to ask the Traveler something. I'm not looking to run away. Please, just let me ask this one small thing.
Go on.
How did we know the name?
Thank you. I was being led away when I finally realized something. Where did you first hear the name Vache? I erased all records of that name.
Are you still trying to prove your innocence? Give it up. You've already been...
I met her.
Really? You did? You're sure? You met her? But how could that be? How did you manage to do it?
Something to do with
Fountain
my
of the
Hydra.
Sea? Then she's been so close to me all along. And I just never... Please give me a chance to talk to her again. Just let the Traveler take me to the fountain to see her one last time.
What? Give an inch and you want to take a mile? Do you think serial killers get to make...
Paimon agrees. Why should...
This request, is it worth as much to you as your life?
Of course! Wait, no. It's worth even more than my life.
Humans. Will they betray the instinct to live just to satisfy spiritual needs?
Yes,
Very
he's
well.
not human. Okay.
I will grant your request.
Your Honor, I feel...
I will go with him. You do not need to worry about any escape.
In that case, I shall leave...
Thank you. Thank you.
I just feel like 90% of my commentary is just screw the Hydra Archon. like I feel like that's just 90% of my commentary. It's just screw this lady. You see this lady? Screw her. Oh my gosh. But I just genuinely do not like her as a character. I don't get why like there's a decent amount of people that are like, oh yes, the sassy bratty character, I love her. No.
No time to lose.
Oh, it's literally right here. Okay.
Is this the place? You said she's here, but what do I need to do to see her?
Back then I drank water from the primordial sea and I heightened my sensitivity to the Hydra element.
Yeah, and even Paimon could hear her after drinking...
Vache!
Ah!
Yes, that's it! So you heard...
Vinier, it's me! It's me, Vache!
Vache?
I'm here! I'm here! Where are you, Vinier? I'm coming for you.
Hey, wait! Be careful!
gonna be a touching cutscene, isn't it?
Is that you? It's me, Vache! Vignere!
Vache, why did you come? Didn't I say? You don't need to look for me. You look a lot older than I remember. How long?
It's been more than 20 years. I've suffered for over 20 years since the day you left. All this time, only the thought of bringing you back has kept me alive. Nothing else mattered to me. I must be dreaming. Who would have thought I'd get the chance to tell you all of my
Not gonna go the way he
feelings
wants.
Vignere, you are my everything. I really don't know how I could live without you.
But Vache, if you ask me, this world would be better off without you.
What are you saying?
If not for you, I would have finished my law degree and probably become a top-tier attorney one day. If not for you, I would have continued to pursue my love of the arts, and my works would have been displayed in the Palais Mermonia itself. If not for you, I would at least have been able to take care of my mother. And she would not have grown old and died alone, with nothing but the tears on her cheek. It's all because of your selfishness, Vache. It's all because of you.
Wait, you are not Vignere. Who are you?
You're right. I am not Vignere. I am the sacrifices. Every woman who died by your hand, as our bodies dissolved, our consciousnesses flowed back to the primordial sea. Our thoughts circulated endlessly within the primordial sea, and we were no longer individuals, but we became one, just as streams of water come together in the sea. I'm Cressy. I'm Lemony. I'm Az. The only one I am not is Vignere.
Why? But then, where is Vignere?
She doesn't want to see you anymore. Every tendril of her consciousness is avoiding you. This is what you get for your selfishness. Your selfishness robbed us of our lives and our futures. You said time and time again that you'd do any and everything for her. But did you ever consider whether she'd want to see you do the things that you did? If she would despise you for what you became? You are a liar, a heartless murderer, and a cowardly narcissist. The only thing you are not is Vignere's beloved. From the moment your first victim died and her consciousness merged with Vignere's, she has had nothing but pure hatred for you.
Looks like they didn't meet me back then either. They must have wanted me to lure Marcel here from the beginning.
Yeah. She can't hate me. Let me see her. Please. Have mercy.
You still don't understand. When I said don't look for me, that came from the real Vignere. She really doesn't want to see you. But on top of that, she also said that because it's her final drop of pity for you. She said that because she knew that if you did come here, we will show no mercy to you.
Vache.
Vache? Vache. 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 Drown.
Later, the guards find the culprit of the disappearance. Marche appeared to have lost his soul. However, the final report, something, saying that it was stolen from him or something like that. That was way too long for me to... that was too much text in so little time. So they basically took his soul for everything he's done. Damn.
Finally, we have some time to do shopping. Gosh, it's really been a long time since we've been able to relax.
Damn.
Oh, well met, partner. I knew.
Even this weather can't put a damper on the demoiselle's mood.
It's a pleasure to see you both again.
Oh, hey, Navia! It's been a few days. Paimon's already started to miss you.
Oh, now that I believe. I'm easy to work with and always bring home the bacon. Who wouldn't treasure having a partner like me?
Sounds like you're really enjoying life these days, Navia. What have you been busy with since the trial?
It's just been one thing after the other. I've been making non-stop trips between Poisson and the court since everyone from Spina di... This time, though, everyone in Poisson, and even met...
That's nice.
Those names definitely been cleared now. That's what we like to hear.
It's been the dearest wish of Demoiselle all...
That blasted stubborn fool. I was right to put my faith in him. I'm so glad I didn't give up on the case all those years ago.
Things turned out, honestly,
by the
for
way,
the best.
I ran into Charlotte just after I left the memorials. Well, maybe it'd be more accurate to say I knew she...
Huh? So you know Charlotte too?
Yeah. Way back when I first became the president of the Spina di Rosula, I believe the story was called The True Heart of Darkness. Secret Tales of the Yellow Rose. To be fair, though, it was a really flattering feature. So, we've been on pretty good terms ever since. She was trying to lean on our friendship to get me to do an exclusive piece on this...
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I told her to make sure that when she writes about you guys entering the opera house with the critical evidence, that you both sound really
Thank
cool.
you.
Now that's another thing to look forward to.
Oh, and in other news, I also took...
Oh.
While you were investigating Vaché's headquarters, Clorande gave testimony on my father's behalf. It was thanks to her that we were able to turn the tide.
Oh, that's...
Anyway, now that... Oh, actually, there's still one last thing I need to do.
Okay.
What is it?
I should pay a visit to my father's grave. And on top of that...
Miss Navia.
Indeed.
Can I come too?
I want to go too.
Sure thing. I'd like you two to share the moment with me.
And in that case, everyone...
Yeah, you're...
This has been nice. I prefer the court system things over the other stuff, but these things are fine too.
This is where my father's grave is. To be perfectly honest, even I haven't been back here for a long time.
Huh? There's someone there already. Wait. That figure. It can't be... Isn't that Neuvillette?
Why is Neuvillette?
Be here?
Why would Neuvillette be here?
My apologies. I should have asked before coming to pay my respect.
Don't...
Sorry about...
Oh, I was trying to say there's no need for you to apologize. I wanted to show my father how much I've grown, but still, I doubt I've grown to the point that even the Chief Justice would feel compelled to apologize to me over and over.
In that case, I will stop apologizing for now.
You really could use some pointers on understanding human emotions, Monsieur Neuvillette. In any case, why did you come to Poisson?
Well, ever since that day, I've been turning a question over and over in my head. Just what is justice anyway? There was once a time when I didn't want to believe that there could be anything more important to humans than life itself. No, rather than that, it's probably more truthful to say I didn't believe humans were capable of resisting the most basic instinct of living things. That they could rebel against their own nature, or consider certain things to be more important than their own lives. Which is also why I didn't stop your father from beginning that fateful duel. I believed that a truly innocent man would never throw away his life like that. That there was nothing, should have been nothing more important than one's own continued survival. But Mr. Callis proved me utterly and decisively wrong. If not for his sacrifice, the serial disappearances case would have remained unsolved to this day. Mr. Callis made the choice he did for his daughter, for his associates, and for many people completely unrelated to him. And in the end, from a certain perspective, One could say that he did it all for the sake of justice. A justice that's higher than life itself. So, you asked me why I came here. I just wanted to say my apologies to Mr. Callis in person. I should have noticed all of this much
I think
sooner.
that's genuine.
This regret has filled me with a sadness that has haunted me for days. That high and mighty chair in the opera Epiclese indeed insulates one from many important things. Spina di Rosula, thank you so much for your hard work and perseverance.
That's genuine.
I'm sorry for
That's a
being mad at you
genuine
before.
apology.
So, you're actually one of those types that's cold on the outside, but pretty thoughtful on the inside, huh? That reminds me of Silver, one of my guys.
Sorry about that. Self-expression is not one of my strong suits.
Didn't I just say you don't need to apologize?
Ah, so Navia and let's not disturb them for now.
Following Navia and Novelette, you also pay respects to Callis. This is great.
Paimon's never paid respects at someone's grave before.
They're not usually supposed to fly around someone's grave.
Paimon, oh no. Paimon hopes Miss Navia won't be too mad.
I love the traveler's facial expression.
Anyway, Neuvillette is still standing around there.
This is basically a full-blown wrapped-up story in a chapter. I mean, there's still, like, a little bit with, the Ortries not giving the same thing as Novelette, but overall, this was well-rounded and wrapped up for a story.
Did
Bravo!
invite you to come pay your respects to her father?
We ran into Navia on the streets today, so we just followed her here.
I see. Then is there something that I can help you with? Please feel free. Though outsiders, you helped us solve one of the greatest mysteries in Fontaine, and it would be my pleasure to return the favor.
About my sibling.
Your sibling? Another blonde-haired traveler? I'm sorry, but I've never seen anyone who matches that description. If she ever stepped foot in Fontaine, I'm sure she followed our laws to the letter, and had no reason to appear on the stage of the opera Epiclese. Is there anything else you'd like to...
About water?
So, at court, the bad guys referred to that...
Truthfully, that name is already quite accurate. I can only surmise that Vacher and his ilk only learned of its nature and existence after extensive research. There used to be a special sea on the surface of this planet. The nature of its seawater was rather different from that of the sea we know today. Most of Tevat's life forms were first born in that special sea. You could say it nurtured much of the life on this planet.
Huh. So it really was...
But today, the primordial sea no longer exists on the planet's surface. What Vacher discovered must have been some kind of special case, or a remnant from a truly ancient age.
Huh. So that's how it is. Oh, you really know everything, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Indeed. Why would the primordial sea, which was known to engender and nurture life, suddenly reverse itself and devour life instead? To be frank, that also doesn't match my understanding of this world and its laws. There must still be some unknown secrets around the people of this land. Is there anything else you'd like?
Yes, but the Circling Prophecy?
That the sea levels will rise and everyone will be dissolved in water, leaving Farina crying alone on her throne, but the sins of the people will be finally washed away for good. Does that appropriately summarize the version you...
Yes.
Right! It was Lenny that told us back then.
Yes, up to the present, I think we reached a point where we have no choice but to confront this prophecy directly. Rumors have it that this prophecy is rooted in the last words the former Hydro Archon left to the world before she passed away.
Okay, yeah, so Farina's the next one.
Prophecy? Of the former Hydroarch?
Two parts of the prophecy have already proven correct. The rising sea levels, and the ability of the people of Fontaine to be dissolved. We should be more vigilant, and stay on the watch.
I'm debating whether I should use my guaranteed on Lenny.
Speaking of the prophecy,
I should try to go for Lenny, or I should say screw it and just get Novelette.
Indeed, she has been If the rumors were true, then perhaps this prophecy...
But with Farina being the way she is...
Is there anything else you'd like?
Oh, you're just gonna ignore that. Okay. Well, child.
My apologies. My investigation has still not reached its conclusion. However, I still believe the judgment of the Oratrice was not rendered arbitrarily.
But you also said you thought he was innocent.
For many years, I have been quite aware that the Oratrice does not simply mechanically repeat the verdict that I give on each case. As a divinely created mechanism, the people's unified faith in the concept of justice is integrated into it. Not only can it produce the incredible power of indemnitium, but it likely also possesses other traits, such as self-awareness. Which is all to say, I have been prepared for a situation like this for a long time.
Huh. So when Lenny told us that he heard a human voice from the room where the Oratrice's core is stored...
I was not aware such a thing had occurred. Perhaps that could serve to prove my conjecture. I will add that to the list of items to investigate. In any case, I am inclined to believe that the Oratrice does have a methodology all its own. We just do not have enough information. Based on Farina's reaction, I doubt even she had any idea what was going on. She managed to bluff her way through it, though. The time-tested twin tricks of bravado and drama. While we do intend to get to the bottom of this, for now, we regret to say that the Fatui Harbinger will just have to bide his time in the fortress of Meripede. If we did incorrectly convict him of crimes he did not commit, we will most certainly compensate him to the fullest extent allowed by the law.
If you ask Paimon, the only compensation he'll want is a no-holds-barred fight with you.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me about?
I straight up have no more. I've asked
Very well.
Everything.
It was my honor to provide you with what answers I could. It will soon be time for me to leave this blissful tranquility behind and return to Palais Memornia.
You really are super busy, Monsieur Neuvillette. Paimon thought you only came here to pay your respects today because you had the day off.
Crime and villainy do not have the day off, and so justice must work around the clock as well. This is merely the nature of a justice's work.
All right. Huh? Paimon just noticed that the rain has stopped.
That's nice. As the light rain falls without reason. Done. That was good. I enjoyed that a lot. That was overall very fun. That was fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Fun little adventure. I need to kill these things.
Everybody stand back!
The wind knows me. Fallen leaves.
These things must burn
my
for
night,
my
one with nature. Huh? I got you covered. The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud, one with nature. Don't get too close. Finders keepers.
This a place that I just have not visited yet? Is that what this is? It seems so.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Into the wind. Brace yourself. This is gonna hurt. The wind knows me. Come on. Yeah. Fire it up. Ooh, what's in here?
There you go. Let's see, how much polls we got for Lenny? We got 2 polls. 2 polls. Yes, sirree. We got 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 1, 2, 3, 4, 63. Ooh. It's actually really close. 4, 65. Come on. 65. I am like right there. That is so irritating. Oh my god. At 65, I'm like right there to pity. I'm like 5 off. Oh my god, this is annoying.
No time to lose.
I want Lenny. I have flowers
No
for
time to
him.
lose.
I have a build for the man. Then again, it's like, do I want him or do I want Novelette? Because I will pull for Novelette if I don't get Lenny. If I do not get Lenny, I am pulling for Novelette. That is a guaranteed. Because I do like Novelette. But yeah, that sums up the story for now, for Fontaine. Hope you enjoyed. Did leave a like and get you on our next journey. Which we probably will not properly come back to this unless it's to play Lenny's story or to basically revisit when it updates. Or maybe just quickly cover a character, because I will be guaranteed a Novelette if I don't get Lenny. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed. Catch you on the next one. Have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.